She said she wanted love. She said she wanted honesty. But the man who gave her everything? She forgot him. Why? Because deep down, she doesn't want what's safe. She wants what shakes her. She's drawn to the man she can't control, the one who could ruin her world, but chooses not to. That man is the monster. And Machiavelli understood this long ago. He said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." He wasn't talking about being mean. He was talking about being powerful, being mysterious, being the kind of man a woman feels, not just sees. She doesn't dream about the nice guy who's always there. She dreams about the man who makes her wonder, does he even need me? Because that tension, that mystery, is what makes her obsessed. Let's begin. Watch this video until the end. Because once you understand who the monster really is, you'll never see women or yourself the same way again. The lie she needed you to believe. She didn't love you, not the real you. She loved the version of you that made her feel something powerful. Mystery, tension, hunger, distance. But the moment you gave her comfort instead of challenge, the moment you made her the center of your world, everything changed. You were taught to believe love is about kindness, loyalty, and always being available. But in the deeper part of female desire, that's not what creates obsession. That's what creates boredom. Machiavelli once said, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." She promised to love you, but that promise was made to the version of you who didn't need her. Not the man who replies in seconds, not the one who begs to fix things, not the one who fears losing her more than losing himself. So she left. Not because you were bad, but because you became too good, too easy to read, too soft, too safe. Her mind isn't evil, it's ancient. For thousands of years, women chose the man who couldn't be shaken, not the one who cries at her feet, but the one who can walk away with calm eyes, even when it hurts. When you became predictable, she lost respect. Because in her unconscious mind, predictability kills desire. You gave her your heart. She gave you distance. Why? Because you stopped being the mystery. You became the mirror, reflecting everything she already knows. She doesn't want to see herself in you. She wants to see a challenge. A man she can't fully figure out. She wants the one who stays still when she storms, not the one who crumbles when she frowns. This is the truth no one tells you. The truth modern love hides. But Machiavelli would whisper this in your ear: if you want to be respected, never give away your soul just to be loved. Let's continue, because next you'll discover why predictability is the death of all attraction, and how to bring back the fire she can't ignore. Predictability, the death of desire. You believed being a good man would keep her. You thought love, loyalty, and always being there would be enough. But here's the hard truth. The moment she could predict your next move, her desire for you started to fade. She stopped wondering what you'd do next, because she already knew. And when there's no mystery, there's no fire. Machiavelli once said, "It's better to be feared than loved if one cannot be both." He wasn't talking about being cruel. He meant power, presence, tension. A man who is feared doesn't try to impress. He doesn't explain himself in long messages. He doesn't beg to be understood. He lets silence do the talking. But you became too easy, too available, too emotional. You gave her your heart on a plate, hoping she'd protect it. You replied instantly. You shared all your feelings too soon. You opened up every part of you without letting her earn it, and instead of feeling close, she felt bored. Why? Because you gave her everything, so she had nothing to chase. You were always around, so she never had to miss you. She used to feel nervous when your name popped up. Now she ignores it without a second thought. She used to wonder what you were thinking. Now she already knows. In her eyes, you became the background. Safe, predictable. And in the world of attraction, predictable means forgettable. Desire doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in tension, in space, in wondering, does he still want me? The monster knows this. He gives her closeness, but not all the time. He disappears into his purpose, not to punish her, but to remind her, You don't own me. That tiny bit of distance, that's what pulls her closer. This isn't about playing games, it's about power. The man who stays grounded in his world becomes the center of hers. Let's move on, because in the next segment, you'll see the silent tests she uses to decide if you're a man she can follow or just another one she'll forget. Her secret tests. She doesn't test you because she's cruel. She tests you because she's built to. It's not personal, it's biological. Every woman, even the kind and gentle ones, have a part of them always watching. Looking for strength, looking for control, looking for the man who doesn't break under pressure. And here's the truth, most men fail these tests, not because they're bad men, but because they don't even realize they're being tested. When she starts a small fight for no reason, that's a test. When she pulls away and goes quiet, that's a test. When she flirts with another man while you're watching, that's not betrayal. That's her way of saying, show me who you are. She doesn't want you to explode, but she doesn't want you to fold either. Machiavelli once said, everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. She wants to experience the real you, not the nice guy mask, not the man who begs, explains, or pleads to be loved. She wants to see what's under the surface when things get tense. Because your reactions tell her everything. Do you chase when she pulls away? Do you try to please her when she's cold? Do you fall apart trying to fix her mood? If yes, she may not say anything, but she feels it. And when a woman feels that you're emotionally weak, she starts to feel unsafe. Not because she wants to dominate you, but because she needs to feel protected. And a man who can't stay strong in his own storm can't handle hers either. What she really wants is a man who can control himself, not her. A man who doesn't panic. A man who stays calm when she gets emotional. A man who stays grounded no matter what she does. Because once you start needing her, you start losing her. But if you stay solid, if you watch her test you and simply remain calm and still, you become the man she respects deeply, the one she can trust, the one she can surrender to. If you fail, she'll take the lead. She'll correct you. She'll start criticizing everything. And eventually, she'll lose respect. You'll go from being her man to another emotional child she has to manage. So how do you win? Don't play her games, don't fight, don't chase, don't explain. Just observe, stand firm, and stay silent when she tries to shake you. That's how the monster passes every test, without saying a single word. Why she cries for the man she should hate. She says she wants a good man, one who listens, one who always texts back, one who puts her first. But when you become that man, she pulls away. She gets cold. She says she needs space. Why does this happen? Because what she says she wants isn't always what her biology feels pulled toward. Her attraction is not built on logic, it's built on deep emotional instinct, the kind that helped women survive for thousands of years. Long ago, choosing the wrong man could mean danger, so nature made her look for strength, not just love. She doesn't want just a nice guy. She wants a man who can protect, provide, and lead, even when she pushes him. She wants the man who doesn't need her to feel strong, because only that kind of man can truly protect her. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if one cannot be both." But this fear isn't about violence or pain. It's about respect, about being so steady, so powerful that she knows she can't control you. She doesn't dream about the man who gave her everything. She dreams about the man who walked away without a word, not to hurt her, but because he wouldn't bend just to keep her. And here's the twist. She feels safest with the man she can't shake. Because if he won't change for her mood, he won't fall apart when life gets hard. Most men fail here. They become softer. They text more. They listen more. They try harder. And in trying harder, they become predictable. And in that predictability, desire dies. She doesn't want to build you into a man. She wants to follow a man who already stands strong. She doesn't cry for the man who agreed with her. She cries for the one who made her feel alive, even when she hated how strong he was. She remembers the ex who didn't explain everything, who didn't chase, who stayed focused. She may say she hated him, but her body remembers him, because her heart doesn't crave perfection. It craves power. That's the man she secretly compares every guy to, even if she never says it out loud. The 3 lost traits of the modern monster. There was a time you had quiet power, not over people, but over yourself. Before you were told to always be nice, before you were trained to always explain how you feel, before you were taught to put her first. You were different. You had something sharp inside you. You walked into a room and people felt it. That edge, that presence, that fire. She noticed it too. Not with her mind, but with her instincts. But somewhere along the way, you gave it up. You traded your strength for comfort. You traded your fire for approval. And now you wonder why she's losing interest. Here's the truth. The man she obsesses over, the monster, isn't cruel. He doesn't play games. He simply has 3 traits that most men today have lost. And when you get them back, you don't need to chase women. They feel pulled to you, even when you're quiet. Let's look at those 3 traits. Trait 1, he has a bigger purpose. You made her your mission. That's why she lost respect. A man without his own purpose will always end up lost in hers. Machiavelli once said, "The intelligence of a ruler is seen in the people around him." Look at your life. Is your world built on growth or distraction? The monster doesn't live for her. He lives for something bigger, his mission, his craft, his future. She can walk beside him, but she is not the reason he walks. Trait 2, he says no without guilt. Most men beg for peace. They over-explain, apologize, ask for permission. The monster doesn't need to raise his voice. He simply knows what he will accept and what he won't. When she tests him, he doesn't argue. He doesn't get emotional. He just steps back. Because saying no, calmly and firmly, tells her, "I don't fear losing you." And that's what makes her feel drawn to him. Trait 3, he keeps emotional mystery. You tell her everything, every thought, every fear, every detail. She says she wants that, but when everything is revealed, there's nothing left to chase. The monster speaks from power, not from need. He shares just enough and keeps the rest locked inside. Not to hide, but because he's still growing. And she can feel it. That gap between who he is and who he's becoming, that's the spark that creates desire. These traits aren't tricks. They are signs of a man who values himself deeply. The monster doesn't fake power. He just refuses to live without it. And now that you remember what you lost, it's time to bring it back. Why she pulls away when you love her more. You gave her everything, your time, your heart, your attention. You were always there for her, ready to talk, ready to listen, ready to love her more and more. But instead of getting closer, she pulled away. Why? Because in the game of desire, the one who needs more always loses power. And when your love feels like begging, she stops seeing you as strong. She didn't walk away because you were too loving. She walked away because your love came from need, not from strength. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if one cannot be both." This doesn't mean scaring her. It means this: it's better to be respected for your strength than loved because you're weak. Here's what most men never hear. A woman wants to feel chosen, but she can't desire something that already feels owned. You made her the center of your world. You texted fast. You were always free. You tried to prove your love with constant attention. And that's when the spark started to die. Because desire doesn't live in comfort. It lives in tension, in mystery, in uncertainty. The more you gave, the less she felt. She doesn't want a man who worships her. She wants a man who loves her, but still loves himself more. She creates drama, she tests you, she pushes emotional buttons, not to hurt you, but to see, will you break? Will you lose yourself? Most men do. They beg, they cry, they panic, and that's when she pulls away for good. But the man she stays obsessed with, he stays calm. He doesn't chase, he doesn't crumble. He shows care, but not desperation. He can walk away if he must, and she feels that, because that kind of love is powerful, and power attracts. You thought being safe would keep her, But safety without strength feels like weakness. She wants to feel wanted, not worshipped, desired, not depended on. You weren't too loving, you were too available. And now, it's time to stop chasing and start leading. The man who doesn't chase becomes the obsession. Most men are taught to chase women, to prove they're good enough, to win her back when she pulls away, to show love even when it costs them their self-respect. But the man a woman secretly obsesses over, he doesn't chase, he becomes the fire. He stands still and lets her move closer when she feels the heat. This man doesn't ask, "Do you still love me?" because he already knows his value, even if she walks away. He doesn't beg. He doesn't explain himself. He doesn't fall apart when she becomes distant. Why? Because his identity isn't built around her. He doesn't make her his world. He has a mission, a life, and a purpose that's bigger than her. And that's what makes him so attractive. She doesn't desire him because he's mean. She desires him because he's strong, because he's mysterious, because he gives love but doesn't need love. He speaks less, but when he speaks, she listens. He doesn't try to impress. He just is impressive through how he moves, how he lives, and how calm he stays. And every time he gives space, every time he doesn't chase after her emotions, she gets more curious, more obsessed. Why? Because she feels that his love isn't free. It has to be earned. And that creates a tension that she secretly craves. Meanwhile, the man who texts all the time, who replies fast, who gives all his love too easily, he slowly disappears from her mind. Not because he's a bad person, but because he made himself too available. She never had a chance to want him, because he was always there. But the man who holds back, the man who stays centered, calm, and focused on his path, he triggers a deep desire in her body. Not because he plays games, but because he is whole without her. And that energy is the drug she doesn't understand, but can't stay away from. The man who doesn't chase becomes the only man she can't stop chasing. The monster who doesn't need her. And that's why she craves him. The man a woman truly desires is not the one who needs her. He can love her. He can enjoy her presence. He can be close to her without losing himself. But he never needs her to feel complete. Because the moment a man needs a woman to feel happy, he becomes weaker in her eyes, not because she's cruel, but because her body is wired to look for strength. She needs to feel that you can stand strong, even without her. That's why the monster is so powerful. The monster doesn't chase her. He doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't make her the center of his world. He already has a world, a mission, a direction. He is full, with or without her. She must rise to meet him, or be left behind. But you gave up your dreams for her. You changed your plans to always be there. You made her your reason for living. And then you wondered why she lost interest. She didn't leave for another man. She left for a feeling, a deeper desire for a man she couldn't control. Final words. This wasn't just a video. It was a mirror, a reflection of everything you gave up, just to be liked, to be chosen, to be good enough. But here's the truth. You didn't lose her because you weren't good. You lost her because you forgot the man you were before the world softened you, before they trained you to be sweet, harmless, and safe. Now you see clearly, the man she truly desires isn't someone you have to become. He's already inside you. He's not a villain. He's not a perfect hero. He's something deeper. He's a force, a man who knows his worth, who speaks less but means more, who loves with strength, not need. And that force, you buried him under guilt, under fear, under the lies they taught you about love and being a man. But now you have a choice. You can go back to being soft, back to being predictable, back to waiting for love instead of commanding it. Or you can rise. You can rebuild your edge, brick by brick. You can choose to become the man she respects, not the one she pities. This path won't be easy. It will cost you comfort. It will test everything you thought was true. But in that struggle, your power returns. If this hit something inside you, if it opened a truth you've been scared to face, subscribe. Because the next lesson might be the one that rewires your entire life. Like this video if it shook you, even a little, and comment power below if the man inside you, the one you forgot, is finally waking up. Because this is no longer the time for soft men. This is the time for strong minds, clear purpose, and unshakable presence. The war for your power has already begun. And the monster? He's yours now, so use him.